Welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. Hope you've all had time there to calm down. Just let yourselves relax a little bit after that penalty shootout last night. And it was strange, wasn't it? Because we've never really gone through that. We've never really had that kind of emotion because many of us have never seen Barca in a competitive penalty shootout. But the most important thing was we came out on the winning side, and I was so happy when Riqui Puig there dispatched that penalty to send us to the Supercopa final. And in today's video, we are going to be talking about some of the standout performances from that game, with a number of players highlighted, and that man, Riqui Puig, he does feature. It's all coming up in today's video, so let's get to it. But I want to start first and foremost by just saying something there to the people, from outside the club, from fans of other places, who often say that Barca have unrealistic expectations. Many people say that Barcelona fans are always demanding perfection, they always want the best, and they're never happy with what they get. But what I would say to that is, look at a game like last night. We have never said that we wanted perfection. We've never said that we want excellence every single minute of every single game. All we want to see is a team out there with some heart, with some desire, who can get themselves over the line. And yesterday, it wasn't a good performance. I think we'll all admit that. I think we'll all sit down here and say, you know what, we was nowhere near our best. But look at what the players did. Look at the heart and the determination they show right up until the very end. And then, of course, in penalties, they held their nerve. Under pressure, in a big moment, they got the job done. And now we're giving them credit. Now we are saying, you know what, well done, guys. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a brilliant performance, but they got the job done and they arrived in that big moment, and that's what we all want. That is what we've been asking for, and I was happy yesterday to see us do that. And certainly when you are looking for a fine example of all of that spirit, all of that heart, that determination, look no further than at the heart of our defence, Ronald Araujo. Because I simply have to mention him, because just think, a few days ago he picked up a thigh problem. He was in the warm-up there against Granada, he picked up an issue and he didn't play that game. And it looked as though he was going to miss several games and he was going to be a big player that we were going to be without. But in the build-up to this game, surprisingly, he was included in the squad list to face Real Sociedad, and we were all thinking he's probably not going to play. He's probably not going to be quite ready yet. He's included there, with the club thinking very optimistically. But then he starts the game. And not only does he start the game, he then goes on and plays 120 minutes. He plays the entirety of the match. And you know what? He was brilliant. And I think so many times now, you're watching Araujo at centre-back. He came up against good attacking players from Real Sociedad, but he just dominates. And I think in particular, that pace about him. In a 1-versus-1 battle, when they're trying to get him behind with Barca playing a high line, he can get you out of trouble. And he actually does remind me in many ways of a young Rafael Varane, because I remember Varane coming through at Real Madrid and he would make mistakes defensively. He could find himself in difficult situations, maybe out of position a little bit because of his age, because of a lack of experience, but because he was so quick, because he was so good physically, he could recover. He could get himself out of trouble with ease. And Araujo yesterday, he showed all of that kind of pace, all of the quality that we hope from him, and I was very happy with his performance, especially after the injury scare that he had in the last game. But now I do want to move on and discuss Ousmane Dembele, because I think in terms of the fan base yesterday, there are contrasting views on exactly how you felt Dembele did in this game. Some people think that he was very good, very effective. Some people think that he needs to do more and that it wasn't a good game for Dembele. So what I'm going to do here is give you a constructive sandwich. I was often taught this in school. I've got two positives for you, and I've also got there a negative in the middle. But we're going to start and end with a positive, because the first big positive that I would have looking at yesterday's game with regard to Dembele is the fact that without Messi, when we needed somebody there in those attacking areas to take on that mantle, to make something happen, he did that. Regardless of the end product, regardless of what happened at the very end of the move, Dembele was still our most dangerous outlet. On that right-hand side, especially in the first half there, he was setting the tempo. He was getting on the ball, he was running, he was being direct, he was looking to make things happen. And I think certainly without Messi, you're looking for that. You're looking for a player there to take on responsibility, get on the ball, and that's what he did. And I respect that, because for many players, it's far too easy to go hiding, to not really want the ball, not really take any risk, and sort of just ease your way through the game. But Dembele didn't do that, and he never shied away. But we do have to be honest, and this is where the negative comes in. Like I say, the end product needs to be better. And I think in particular, the words that I would use there is take more care in the final third, because quite often with Dembele, it's a bit rushed. I think certainly yesterday, he was almost too eager. You could see out there he really wanted to make something happen. He was so energised. He was really, really trying, but maybe too hard, because then you get a bit desperate. Then I think he hung onto the ball a little bit too long at times. He didn't quite find the right pass. He was a little bit over-eager, and of course he was dispossessed far, far too many times. But I will say, if you want players to take risks, if you want players there to do things out of the ordinary, at times they're going to lose the ball. It's not going to work every single time, but you would have to say, Dembele, you want him to take a bit more care in possession, a little bit more care there in the final third, and that's the area that you would look for some improvement in. But there's one more positive. With Dembele, there's one big positive there. Aside from the performance, I want to talk here about the fact that Dembele, Ousmane Dembele, somebody who has been plagued by injuries, somebody who's struggled physically since he arrived at this club, he completed the entirety of that game. 120 minutes. There was a lot of tired legs out there from Barça. You saw the likes of Pedri, you saw Busquets go off, even Mingueza was subbed as well, but not Dembele. He stayed out there until the very end, and that's really important. And he didn't just complete the 120 minutes, he didn't just get through there the entirety of the game. He also had enough energy, he had enough left in the tank to step up and take a penalty. And I love this about Dembele. He is so two-footed, because he actually lines up there as if he's going to take it with his left foot. The goalkeeper there is getting ready there for that left-footed angle, but then at the last minute, Dembele, he thinks, no, I'm going to change this up. He goes over to the right foot, calmly slots it home. Brilliant penalty, and he is a very underrated penalty taker. Great for Barça, and that was a big moment in the shootout. Of course, though, we simply do have to talk about the match winner, essentially there, dispatching the final penalty in that shootout. It was, of course, Riqui Puig, and like I say, I was just so happy watching him step up, watching him smash it home, and then the celebration. You could see how much that moment meant to Riqui Puig, you know, coming through the system as a youth player, coming through here, getting his chance in the first team, and he loved every second of it. And Riqui Puig, after the game, he did an interview so heartwarming and certainly so refreshing there. He said there were 4 names and then a blank space by the 5th in terms of the penalties. He said, I was the first to say that I wanted to take it. He said I was so clear, I had a lot of desire to shoot that penalty and be able to score a goal with the first team. And then he went on to say, I've never lost my smile. He said, I'm a pretty happy kid. He said, because even though, you know, I don't play as much as maybe I'd want to do, he said, things are still going well for me. I've got my family, my health. He said, I cannot complain. He said, if Ronald gives me more minutes, then I'll be grateful. I'll take advantage of those minutes. But he said, if not, I'm going to continue working. He said, I will never throw in the towel. He said, not after so many years at this club, knowing how much it's cost me to get to the first team. Now I'm here. I'm not going to throw it away. And Ronald Koeman also came out and confirmed basically that's what happened there with Riqui Puig. Koeman said, I had 4 names on my sheet for the penalties. He said, so I asked who wanted to take the 5th, and Riqui said, I will. He said he did very well. And I think it's interesting here, looking at this from Ronald Koeman and Riqui Puig, we all know about something there between the two of them, which has not seen Puig play a great deal this season, but he did come on there at the start of extra time. I was happy to see him included there, somebody that I felt we needed in the team, but also the fact now that he's taken that penalty, because he's not only proven himself to Koeman in terms of performance, but also that penalty, that's about mentality. I think that will speak a lot to Koeman there. The fact that a young kid wanted to step up and take that final penalty, the big pressured one, of course. He said, you know what, I will. I really do hope there that Koeman and Puig can continue here to work through their relationship. We can continue seeing more of this boy in the lineup, because he is such an exciting player, and you can see what it means to him. Finally though, guys, of course I do want to touch on Lionel Messi. Many of us wondering indeed, is he going to be ready to return in time for the Supercopa final this coming Sunday? Now, the media right now in Spain are reporting that Messi is really motivated. He really does want to try and get back for that final. That was always his idea. Messi was going to sit out this game with the hope and the ambition that Barça got through the semi-final and he would return in time for Sunday. But of course, the final decision, it's going to be made in the coming days. Nothing is fully decided yet. Messi is going to be evaluated in the training sessions to come to just check that he's fully recovered from that knock that he picked up against Granada. We, of course, hope that he can be back in our side. And later on Thursday, we'll find out. Will it be Athletic Club or will it be a Clásico against Real Madrid? So please do leave your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. How are you feeling after yesterday's game? Have you gotten over that penalty shootout yet? And what are you expecting ahead of the final on Sunday? Who do you want to get? Do you want Athletic or do you want a meeting against Real. Let me know those thoughts down below. Thank you indeed as always, guys, for your great support. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.